This program is brought to you by freekeen.com.
Ma'am, you cannot be taking pictures. Please put that away.
Getting cameras into the Cheshire County Department of Corrections isn't easy. But getting drugs in may be a little bit less difficult. While in the jail on a civil disobedience charge in early July, I made a point of asking as many guards as I could, what's the latest on the death of Stuart Clark? What's the latest on the investigation? Well, they all told me they couldn't tell me anything or that they didn't know. But inmates did have some things to tell me. Clark was a man in his young 30s who died at the Cheshire County Department of Corrections this spring of 2009. And I should point out that this jail is located in western New Hampshire. Anyway, what the inmates told me, and this is, I think, two pretty separate inmates who weren't really communicating with each other much, they both told me that Clark died of a drug overdose. And I got the impression this was not some sort of a jail-administered drug, but an illicit drug. Jail Superintendent Richard Van Wickler stopped returning my phone calls about 3 months ago, so this is pretty much what I have to work with, inmates and guards. The inmates did not seem at all surprised or freaked out that there were illicit drugs in the jail. It seemed to be a routine thing. And probably it's a routine thing at most jails. It's the ultimate proof that you cannot ban drugs anywhere. Anyhow, I don't know how true these allegations were. I do have some more details, but these only come from one inmate. The only part that seemed to be verified, cross-verified with two different inmates was the drug overdose story. I will say, while I'm on the subject of the jail, that my 6 days in there, I didn't really sense that the guards were sadistic. I did not get the impression that they were unprofessional. I didn't see anything particularly inhumane happen, beyond the fact that people were locked up with very limited freedom. But I'll be reporting in more depth on my jail experience as I'm able, but this is just one thing that was a little more time-sensitive, wanted to get it out. Stuart Clark, possibly killed by a drug overdose. Now, I would like to say, though, that I doubt Clark would have died if he had not been in the Cheshire County Jail. He was there, by the way, on a charge of habitual motor vehicle violations, and I think it might have even been a driving suspended. So it was an apparently relatively victimless crime that he was in there for. Seems pretty unlikely to me that Clark would have been in position to take exactly the same overdose if he'd been on the outside, even if he is a drug addict. I'll also say I did not sense when I was in the jail any sort of anger on the part of inmates about his death. I didn't sense that they were angry at the guards. It was almost like it was a relative non-issue. If I hadn't been bringing it up, no one would be talking about it. Although one of my blockmates did read a letter from one of Clark's friends regarding the death, and so this friend apparently had some concerns about it. And I have concerns about it. You put people in that environment and they start doing things that are much crazier than they would do when they're on the outside. This is Dave Ridley signing off for RidleyReport.com this June 18th, 2009.
This program is brought to you by freekeen.com. Freekeen.com features audio, video, and blogs chronicling the transition to a voluntary society. Freekeen.com also has comments and discussion forums so you can be heard. Freekeen.com.